Hello students, welcome to Study Point Live. Today our topic is ratio and proportion from ICSE class 10. Okay, but before going to the exercise, we must have to know some basic thing which we need to solve the problems in the exercise. See, the first thing is the composition of ratios. Okay, and here the first topic is the compounded ratio. Suppose we want to make the compound ratio of A is to B and C is to D, right? We want to write the compounded ratio of A is to B and C is to D. So it can be written as AC is to BD. It means first term and the first term, these two will be multiplied and the second two term will be multiplied. By the same process, we also can say for the three ratios. See, if A is to B, C is to D, E is to F. Suppose these are the three ratios. Now, if we want to write the compounded ratio of this thing, so it can be written as ACE, the multiplication of first element of each ratios, that is ratio of the second element of each ratio, that is B, D, F. So this will be the compounded ratio of the A is to B, C is to D and A is to F. Right? So this is all about the compounded ratios. Now if we come to the next topic, that is the duplicate ratio. Now what is this? Suppose we have A is to B and you want to write the duplicate ratio of A is to B. Now it will become A square ratio B square. Duplicate ratio means we have to write the square term of each element and then again it will be in the ratio form. Now what is the subduplicate ratio? If we want to write the subduplicate ratio of A is to B, see, it will become root over of A is to root over of B. Right. So by this thing, I think now this topic will be a little bit clear to you. See, here it is duplicate ratio. Here it was duplicate, that's why it was square. Now here it is triplicate. So if we want to write the triplicate ratio of A is to B, so it will become A cube is to B cube. Right? And by the same process only, see, here it was subduplicate ratio, so we did the square root. But here it is subtriplicate ratio. So it will be the subtriplicate ratio of A is to B will be cube root of A ratio cube root of B. Means is it also can be written as C A to the power 1/3 ratio B to the power 1/3. Right? Now for the next topic, say here it is the reciprocal ratio. So if we want to write the reciprocal ratio of A is to B, after reciprocal it will become B is to A. Just the ratio will be reversed. Okay, got it. Now this is the all the topics that is on the composition of ratios. Now if we want, move to the continuous proportion, see, suppose we want to write the continuous proportion of A, B, C, D and all. Now if we want to write the ratio, it will become A is to B, see, A is to B. Now again B is to C is to D, and by this process it will be continued. Right? This is the continued proportion. But if we want to write for only three elements, see, A is to A, B and C. If we want to write the continued proportion of A, B and C, now it will be like A by B and that is B by C. It means A is to B, double is to B is to C. Okay, so here this term, this A is the first term. It is called first proportion. Okay, and this C is called last proportion. And this B is called the mean proportion. See here. Now we will solve for the mean proportion. How? Let us see. If we want to solve the mean proportion with respect to first proportion and the last proportion, so we can write A by B, that is equals to B by C. Right? So from here, after doing the cross multiplication, it can be written as B square is equals to AC. Therefore, B is equals to root over of AC. So you see over here, this is the mean proportion with respect to first proportion and the last proportion. So this was our aim, to find the mean proportion with respect to the first and the last proportion. So I think this is the all the topic that we need to solve the problems from the first two exercise, and based on this we'll try to see the different kinds of problems from your Emerald book. So let me write some problems from your book, and we'll solve by different methods. Okay, there have basically two or three methods, but for one or two sums, we will try to write the each and every different kinds of problem. See here, one kind of problem is this: a is to b, that is equals to 6 is to 7, and b is to c is equals to 8 is to 9. Now we have to find a is to b is to c. So there is one kind of problem. Okay, a is to b and b is to c is given, and we have to find the value of a is to b is to c. Now if we see here b is the second term, the second element and the second ratio, and here b is 7. But here b is the first ratio and the value of b is 8. So first we have to take the LCM of these two terms. So LCM of these two terms will be 56. So it will be 56. Okay, as because the value of b is here 7 and here it is 8, so we cannot find the a is to b is to c directly. So we have to make the value of b equal first. See here it is 6 by 7 and here 8 by 9. See here b means 7, here b means 8. So we have to make it common. Means the value of b should be same for here and here also. So here if we want to make it 56, as because the LCM is 56, so if we want to make the value of b is 56, we have to multiply both sides by 8. So it will be 48 by 56, and here it is 7. It is 8, so we have to multiply by 7 in both the ratios to make it 56. Okay, now see, now here b is 56, here also b is 56, right? Now we can say that a is to b is to c is equals to, see here a is 48, b is 56 in both the ratio, and c is 63. So this will be your answer. Okay. Now let us take another type of problem. See here, if a is to b is 5 is to 3, it is given, and we have to find the value of, see here, find 5a plus 8b ratio 6a minus 7b, right? See here it is a is to b is equals to 5 is to 3. So you can say that a by b is equals to 5 by 3. Right? Now write down this problem that we have to find. It is given. Now see here the ratio is a by b. So what we will do? We will divide both the numerator and the denominator by b. See, it will become like that. And here 6a minus 7b by b, right? So if we split this b in for both the terms, so it may written as like this for the numerator and like this for the denominator part, right? Now if we cancel this two, and it can be said that 5 into a by b. Here it was 5a by b, so I have written 5 into a by b plus 8, and here it is 6 into a by b minus 7, right? And see here the ratio of h to a by b is 5 by 3. So here we can say 5 into 5 by 3 instead of a by b plus 8, and 6 into 5 by 3 minus 7. So you have to calculate it. See the calculation over here. I'm doing the calculation over here. See, it will 25 by 3 plus 8 and 30 by 3 minus 7. Got it? So if we cut this, it will be 10, and 25 plus 24 by 3 into, here it was 10, okay, write down 3 over here. So 25 plus 24, it will be 49 by 3 into here 3 will be 1 by 3, right? So it will be 49 by 9. This will be your answer. Okay, now we will solve this problem only by another method. See, let me rub this one, then I will solve this problem only with another method. See, here we have divided both the numerator and the denominator by b, and we have made the ratio only a by b. Now if we want to solve it by another method, say it is the method 1. Now if we want to solve by another method, how it looks like basically. See, a by b is equals to 5 by 3. So this is the ratio. So we can say that let a is equals to 5k and b is equals to 3k. We can say it. Now what we have to find, 5a plus 3b by 6a minus 7b. Okay, you just simply put the value. See here 5, instead of a write 5k, 3, here it is 3b, so instead of b just write 3k. 6a, a means here 5k, sorry it is minus 7b, b means here 3k, right? So solve it, it will be 25k plus 9k by 30k minus 21. Okay. Oh sorry, I have written the question here, it was 8, sorry it was mistake, it was 8, so it will be 24k, right? So see, here it will be 49k. After adding of these two terms, it will be 49k, and here 30k minus 21 means 9k. If we cut this k, the ratio will become 49 by 9. See, this is the another answer by the another this. I mean the same answer by another method. See, here it was also 49 by 9, and here also 49 by 9, but we have solved by two different methods. Okay, I think it is clear to all of you. Now let me see some different problems from your book for the different formulas. See, here it is written that, first let me write the question over here. Find two numbers in the ratio of 8 to 7 such that when each is decreased by this, then the ratio means the initially suppose a by b, this is equals to 8 by 7. This is the ratio of two numbers. Okay, if we decrease each number by 12 whole 1 by 2, then the ratio becomes 11:9. Okay, means initially the ratio of two numbers is this. When each element is decreased by this, then the ratio becomes this. Find two numbers. Means find the value of a and b. So this is the question. Now see how to solve it. Here a by b is this. Now see, I am writing according to question, and I will write the equation at the first. See here, let a is equals to 8x and b is equals to 7x. That's because the ratio of a and b is 8 to 7. So we can say that a is 8x and b is 7x. So see here, according to question, each element is decreased by 12 whole 1 by 2. Means it was 8x, a was 8x, it will be decreased by 12 whole 1 by 2. Ratio b, it was 7x, it also will decrease by 12 whole 1 by 2, and the ultimate ratio after decreasing each element, the ratio will become 11:9. Got it? I think it is clear to you. So this is the according to question. Now we have to solve it. See here, 12 whole 1 by 2 means it will become 25 by 2, and it will be 25 by 2, that is equals to 11 by 9. Now see, after solving 16x minus 25 by 2, and here 14x minus 25 by 2. We just have done the LCM over here. See, 16x minus 25 by 14x minus 25 is equals to 11 by 9. Now, if we do the cross multiplication, see, it will become 144x minus 225, and after doing this cross multiplication, it will become 154x minus 275. Okay, now we can say that here it is 154x, and if it changes its side, it will become 144x minus, and here it was minus 275, so if it changes the side, it will become plus 275, and here it was initially here it was 2 to 5. Now after calculation, see, it will become 50 is equals to 10x. Therefore, you can say x is equals to 50 by 10, that is 5. Right? Now see, here it was a was 8x and b was 7x. Therefore, we can say a is equals to 8x, and here x is 5. So it will become 40, and b will become 7x. That is 7 into 5. That is 35. So we can say the ratio of h to b. It was 8 to 7. So the value of a is 40 and b is 35. So it was a question, find the value of a and b. So this will be answer. So I have written some different types of sums. So let us solve and see how to solve this kind of sum. And let us start from the first question. See, here it is written, a certain sum was divided among A, B and C in the ratio 7:5:4. So we can say that let A will get, see, the ratio was 7:5:4. So A will get 7x, B will get 5x, and C will get 4x. Right. Now, if we see the next statement, it is if B got rupees 500 more than C. So, according to question, we can say here, see, what's B got rupees 500 more than C. So, what C gets? Rupees 4x. Right. More than C means if C get 500 more, then it would become to the same as the amount that received by B. Means we can say, see here, B got rupees 500 more than C get rupees 4x. If C gets rupees 500 more, then it would become to the equal to the amount that is received by B. Right. So from here we can say, see here it is 5x minus 4x is equals to 500. Therefore, x equals to 500. Right. Find the total sum divided. See, what was the amount received by A, B and C? Therefore, total amount received. Therefore, total sum. What is the total sum? A got 7x, B got 5x and C got 4x. Right. So, it will be 16x. So, the total sum, that is x, here x is 500. So, you can say that 16 into 500, that is rupees 8,000. It was the total sum. Right? So, this is the answer of the first part. Now, let us wrap the board and then try to solve the second part. I think this sum is clear to all of you. Now, let me rub this. And now, what about the second part? See here, if x plus 5 is the mean proportion between x plus 2 and x plus 9. Now, what we said in the formula, if x, y, z are in mean proportion, so we can say x by y is equals to y by z. Right? So here, see, I have written this as a formula. Now, here, the mean proportion. Here, what is the mean proportion? Y means we can say y square is equals to xz. By applying this same formula, we can say, see here the mean proportion is x plus 5. So it will become whole square, and that will be equal to x plus 2 into x plus 9. Here see, if y is the mean proportion, so y square is equals to xz. Right. So here x plus 5 is the mean proportion. So we can say that x plus 5 whole square is equals to this. Now it will be according to the question. Now simply solve it. See, a plus b whole square means a square plus 2ab plus b square. Now and just break this and multiply x into x, it will be x square, x into 9 plus 9x, 2 into x plus 2x, 2 into 9 plus 18, x square plus 10x plus 25 is equals to x square plus 11x plus 18. Now bring all the x term in one side and the remaining term in another side. See, all the x value term is in the left side and the constant term is in the right hand side. So 10x minus 11x, that is minus x, is equals to minus 7. Therefore you can say x is equals to 7. So this is the answer, and it was the question, find the value of x. So this will be the answer of the second part. Okay, I think it is also clear to you. Now we will do the last sum of this session. See, what is about the last question? In the last question it is given x, y, z are in continued proportion. Right? If x, y, z are in continued proportion, so we can say x, y, z are in continued proportion. Right? So we can say x by y is equals to y by z. This is the formula for the continued proportion. So is equals to k, let. Okay. Now therefore we can say x by y is equals to k, and as well as y by z is equals to k. So from here x is equals to zk, and here here y is equals to zk, and here x is equals to yk. And as because y is equals to zk, so we write zk instead of y into k. So zk square. Right? Now write on the left hand side over here. Here it is given x plus y whole square, y plus z whole square. Right? Now what is the value of x? See, x means zk square. So zk square plus what is the value of y? That is zk. It will be whole square. And what is the value of y plus z? What is y? Y means zk plus z whole square. Right? So from here, see, from here zk is common, so we can write zk as common. But as because here it is whole square, so whenever it will be out of the bracket, it will come as z square and k square. Right? So what will be the remaining term? I think it will be little difficult for you. So let me break it into two lines. See, if we bring zk as common here, k plus 1 will be remaining, and entire term will be in the second bracket. And here also, here z is common, so it will be k plus 1 and entire term will be in the second bracket. Now see, if we remove this bracket, so we can write down like this: z square k plus 1 whole square. This term, right? For the numerator part, and for the denominator part, you can say z square into k plus 1 whole square. Right? Now see, z square will be cancelled out, and k plus 1 whole square will be cancelled. So entire term will be k square. This is for the left hand side. Now, if you solve for the right hand side, let us solve over here. Right hand side, it is x by z. Right? Now, what is the value of x? See, zk square. Zk square. Now here it is z will cancel, the value is k square. See, from the left hand side, by solving we are getting the value as a k square, and same value we are getting by solving the right hand side portion. So we can say that it is proved. So we can say x plus y whole square by y plus z whole square is equals to x by z. Right? It is proved. I think whatever we have done in this class, the entire session is very much clear to you. And if so, then all of you just try to solve the first two exercise of this chapter, and in the next session we will try to discuss the more thing that is related with this chapter. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please like and share the videos with your friends, and please subscribe the channel so that we can reach to all of you at the very first moment. Thank you.